Now for something a bit different. That's the monitor on. Let's move the curtains. This might not matter anyway. And then that happens. There you go, that's probably a bit better. So some slight problems with the brightness control, which the camera's not even picking up. There you go. Need some WD-40 on that. And I do believe this is the Amstrad I had that was working, which I bought with a colour monitor. Yes, you heard me right, Amstrad. Not that anyone who watches my channel probably really cares, but anyway. I only got one tape. Very expensive tape, and it is in mint condition. So, I haven't found my Amstrad games yet, although I did find a copy of Airwolf 2, so I should probably, but I can't go back in that room now. So, right, what we should probably do is make sure that it doesn't chew any tapes. So, no, where's the, yeah, we had the audio cassette here. Right, there's no lid. That's not going to work again. Which one is that? That's right, that's the one that's dead. I bought that for parts. So, and the other one, I don't think. Is this one, control and enter on the number thing doesn't work. So, you have to type it in manually. Of course, you can't go back up the screen. Not really set up for this, must admit. So before I try loading anything, I have to make sure it doesn't chew any tapes. Welcome to the most boring tape testing I've ever done. Not very loud, but I don't know if the Amstrad would play tapes like this. Maybe it's only tuned to certain frequencies. Would be nice to get the Amstrad working. So I've got 3 464s. One of them is completely different to the other two. The the video output socket and the is it 12 volt? The the power connection are in completely different places, and instead of having a joystick port on the side and the audio output on the side, they're on the back on one of them. Let's have a look on this one. And the label's slightly different. So I think this is the original one, because I think this is, well, I don't know, because I think my mate got his in 1985. So one of them has got like a raised, silver lettering for the Amstrad. You can feel it. You could read it with braille, sort of. You know what I mean. And the other one is just a sticker. So it's part of the sticker where it says 64K colour. It's not raised at all. So two are like that, and one is like, you know, the things you get on the back of the car, you know, where it says like 325i and things like that. Well, I haven't chewed up the tape yet. We are hearing something. So one of them has got like a broken key, and it came with two broken keys, but one has come off. The U key, you bastard, you come off. But there was two missing. I'm sure this is one I bought for spares, because I've got another one where the lid doesn't close on the cassette deck. It won't stay closed, and there's nothing broken, so I think maybe there's just some screws missing, so it's just kind of twisted. So I guess that's one rubbish tune. I don't know what fucking group this is, because the tape decks don't work on my I'd be amazed if I got a copyright strike for this one, because it's a shit thing. I don't know, fucking what's it, I can't even tell you what it is. It's just a tape that was left inside one of the tape decks I bought from the car boot sale. Dolby HX Pro. I think one was like £1, one was like £5 because it was in better condition. I think we haggled down to £3 or £4 for the other one, because I said I'm not really interested in Sony. So one's Sony, one's Denon, and one is Kenwood, and they're all Dolby HX Pro twin cassette deck, or one of them may be a single cassette deck, but at least two of them are double. Not quite found them yet, but they're in a big box, all three of them together, so they'll weigh a ton. I may have put them together with a hi-fi, which would be really stupid, but anyway. So okay, getting the tape out is a bit of an issue, but can't see any damage on the tape. Right. Yeah, I've got the bloody camera between me and the keyboard, and a huge stack of disc boxes, obviously. Right then, Get Dexter. Everyone knows Get Dexter. If you like these kind of games, if you like games like Night Law and shit like that, this is a game for you, mate. Okay, the picture dimmed a bit there. So yeah, this one's got no keyboard, but the cassette deck is absolutely fine. Well, that sounds promising. Ooh. So between the three of these, I should be able to make two working ones. Now, I didn't know that the lid to the cassette on this one was missing. Oh, great. That's no good. Didn't like the sound of that. Now the good thing about the Amstrad is, you know, there's not a lot of cabling. You pick up the monitor, you pick up a 464 keyboard, you plug the two together, and you plug the monitor into the you know, the electricity, and switch them on, both of them, and off you go, hopefully. It really is a solution for dum-dums. You know, Alan Sugar was quite adamant it should be for the Fico truck drive. Yeah, we've got Read Therapy already, so let's just forward it to the next side. I have no idea if this game works. I couldn't even tell you if it was sold to me as tested working. There was certainly no you know, picture of it loaded up or anything like that. It's just someone selling games. It is in very good condition. Now we could try the other Amstrad, and we'll have to put like a coffee cup or something on top of the cassette lid, which is a bit annoying, but anyway, we've got to do some washing today. There's quite a lot of loading on this game. It's quite a big tape. So this one really needs the lid put in on it, and hopefully nothing else. Hopefully just cleaning the tape heads and stuff like that should work. Work for Whizball. So yeah, look, the escape key is coloured red. Don't accidentally press escape. So yeah, but by some fucking miracle, it has an adequate sound chip. It's only the third worst that I can think of. And sorry, it's the fourth worst. Yeah, because you got obviously you got the Atari, but the BBC Micro had a good sound chip, so that's third because it plays the sound out of a shitty speaker and there's no audio output socket. At least on the Amstrad they bothered to give you like a headphone socket kind of thing. So, you know. Anyway, if you pump the sound into a hi-fi, it improves it much more than it would like if you did that with an Atari or a Commodore 64 128. You really do need to get rid of you know, the use of the internal speaker on the 464. It's one of the advantages of playing Amstrad games on emulator. Oh, just so you know, World Series Baseball loaded like 3 seconds after. Alright, this is going well. This was the side it was rewound to. Something's just stopped. I think that must be a load error, because it stopped the tape. Okay, let's try it again. Like I said, most boring fucking tape testing you've ever seen. Ah shit, I was drawing the bollocks. See, I'm not familiar with the Amstrad, so with actually using the real machine. And this is always the case. You've got an untested monitor, which is already having a few problems, 3 untested computers with 3 untested tape decks in them, and 1 game which is also untested. This is a shit way of starting your collection. If you're going to start any kind of collection, what you need to do is buy a working example. If you haven't got any of that computer, you know, if you've got like 38 Commodore 64s and you wanted to start, you know, playing Amstrad games, you need to buy a working Amstrad, which comes with a game that, oh look, see, it is working this time. Now the loading screen on this is fantastic, so I hope it works. Yeah, there's no shame in it. Yeah, so it got a bit further this time. Ah, bollocks. No, it's not meant to do that. It wouldn't do that. There's something weird going on because it's not loading any more of the loading screen now. Maybe that's just how much of the loading screen it loaded, but it's a real shame because now you can only change the brightness, can't change the contrast or the colour. It's a bit like on the very old like 1970s TVs with CFAX. You know, if you had the CFAX or the you know, ITV Oracle, I believe it was called, and Channel 4 text. But yeah, going back to like, you know, BBC One CFAX. On your TV, on those things, because that is also an RGB signal, it's like, you know, an 80% cut down BBC micro on a little circuit board. That's all it is. You know, at best you could change the brightness. You know, changing the colour and the contrast did nothing to the image that was displayed on the teletext pages. So that's why it is the way it is on the Amstrad. Now that also means that the Amstrad monitor by default is set to maximum saturation. That's how it's been done. I suspect that was an Alan Sugar decision or something that was like, oh, we ain't got money in the budget for colour controls, because that is quite difficult on you know, RGB analog signals. It's the same signal as the ST and the Amiga QL. Don't know if the Spectrum will do that as well. I think some of the Spectrums have an RGB port. Can't remember when that was a thing. Probably from the Spectrum 128 onwards. I seem to remember Fred Harris talking about it, so it could have been the Spectrum 128 review. But yeah, my advice is never do what I'm doing now. Never ever. You can buy extra computers that are untested for spares. You know, if you buy a dead Amstrad 464, chances are the tape deck will work if it's been stored correctly. So, and the keyboard. So maybe you just want the lid off one of the tape decks. Maybe the motor's fine and the gears are fucked, and on yours the gears are fucked and the motor's fine. You know, those kind of things. But do not do what I'm doing now, because I don't know if the tape deck is in drastic need of cleaning now and servicing. New belts will keep the you know, the speed at which the tape is turning past the heads at a constant velocity a lot better than knackered belts in there. Right, there's still more to load. I don't know why I've zoomed the camera in, because you can only see like 50% of the image. Is there any more to load? Yeah, there is. See, I don't know how long Get Dexter takes to load. Can't remember if, yeah, I think both versions of this game are on the CPC. But being a French company, and the Atari ST really took off in like 85, 86 in France. They sold shitloads there. Very popular there. So France is a weird country. They went from Auric to Amstrad to Atari ST for people with a bit more money. I think Spain was a country where Sinclair and Amstrad did well, Commodore didn't. Not sure why. No, that's not good. I've done like that. I don't think it's going to load either way. So I know one side of the tape doesn't work properly. It's been so long since I've watched this game loading. I've no idea if it does that funny business. The block before the last block. Speaker volume control and the brightness control on the monitor as well. They both possibly just need a bit of WD-40. There may be some dry joint issues on the brightness. I really don't want to open up a monitor. Because I can't remember how you link the tube. That's where you get rid of the huge amount of electricity stored in those giant capacitors that power this CRT gun. Same reason why I won't open up my microwave to fuck about trying to replace a bulb. Oh, and the fact that no one it tells you what the bulb is, and I don't know if you could buy that bulb. They might have done something weird. So yeah, see, this probably isn't the right game to be doing it with, and you probably want a tape that you've seen load. I don't think I had this game when I bought this particular CPC. I bought this CPC 12, 13, 14 years ago. Yeah, I think it was about that sort. It was a long time ago. And it did work. I did load the tape. But I can't remember what game it was. That's not good. Yeah. Running the tape through once can sometimes help, once or twice. You know me, well you don't because you haven't seen the Whizball video yet, but that's a 50-minute video and there is not 50 minutes of gameplay or listening to the title screen music on that one. I'll tell you that for a fact. However, it did miraculously work on one side after I cleaned the heads and the capstan rollers with a bit of alcohol. I do believe it was next aftershave, which is right there. So there's all sorts of things at the moment. The CPC works fine. If I really wanted to test to make sure the speaker works fine and it was loud enough, I'd have to find a program. I haven't got any manuals or anything with this. But I seem to remember I only paid 20 quid for this colour monitor, this CPC, and the postage. The postage was something stupid, like I think it was like 5 quid or something, because it was like a charity organisation and they were probably getting a discount from the courier, and they obviously posted a load of stuff. Can't remember which charity it was actually. Not sure. Yeah, I don't believe it's working when it does that. I suspect he's going to get to the end of the tape. Now, the thing is, we're going to have to run through that shitty audio tape on the other tape deck. I'm not taking any chances with this game. Get Dexter is a perfect example of why you would buy an Amstrad CPC over a C64. It's a perfect example. So I don't really want this copy chewed up, because I've only got one of these. It's in mint condition. I don't need the tape getting chewed up. The instructions are fairly mint as well. They're just a bit creased because they don't fit in the bloody case properly. Maybe you could remove the creasing, but it's not actually instructions. It's, oh well, it says controls at the back. It's some sort of comic. One of the cats is trying to get in. That's a bit weird. There you go. See, it's like a comic book. Better not stretch it too much. That's what it says on the front. Alright, that's Aslan. I think that's the end of the program on there. It didn't load. That's a fail. And I don't know if it's a tape deck on this machine, or the tape deck does actually sound fine, you know, mechanically. There's nothing funny going on there. The tape deck on the next machine we're going to try is a bit iffy. The button squidged down a bit more, yeah. See, when you press it, the whole thing goes down on one side, so I suspect there's a screw missing on this side or something. So this one needs a bit of work. And the other one with a broken keyboard I literally just bought for the cassette lid, I reckon. That was the last one I bought. That would have been dirt cheap. So let's see how we're going to do this. Such an arse ache getting these out of the storage room. Real nightmare. And there was lots of stuff that could have broken as well. Right, it goes there. So, well, I'm glad the one without the broken keyboard does actually, you know, power on. Well, it did 5 minutes before I started this video, but I went with the other one first because, like I said, I have to put a coffee cup on the lid on this one. Right. The other thing with the Amstrad you have to remember is do not turn the monitor off. And that does not sound great. No idea what happened here. Right, let's try this again. Actually, I could have done the control and enter thing. I'll make sure that works. I think the little control key doesn't work on the keyboard on the other one. Actually, let's forward it a bit. Yeah, this tape deck doesn't sound great. So the first thing I might do is take apart the one with the broken keys on the keyboard and swap the entire tape decks over. So I'm going to have to open up at least two. I think this is the one that doesn't make any noise at all. I think the one with the missing lid for the cassette deck is the one that works. Yeah, because the problem is the other one here with a good tape deck with a lid on it and the broken keys, that one doesn't power on. Well, I'll give it a quick try now. But I was playing a game on the Amstrad in the hallway in my old house. I do remember that, because that's where I set it up. It was literally, it arrived in the post and it came with a joystick as well. I don't know which one. And I literally set it up in the hallway because the hallway was like 6 foot wide. There was an area the size of a box room between the front door and where the stairs go up. Yeah, it's a nice house actually. Shame it was haunted. Well, actually. Yeah, they all need a bit of WD-40 on the volume. I think this is one where it doesn't load anything and you don't hear anything while it's loading. But I'm not sure, because I know I've got a Spectrum Plus 2 that does that exact thing. Everything works. You press play, not only does the game not load, but you can't hear anything. And I assumed it was like the Amstrad where you could hear it loading for the Plus 2. Well, I did buy another Plus 2, but and then another one turned up in a bundle, which is how I completed my Sinclair collection. Sinclair PC200 is not a Sinclair computer. I would never buy one of them. It is identical to the Amstrad PC20, which is literally a PPC 1512 shoved into a different case and a different keyboard. It looks hideous. It literally looks like a 16-bit version of the BBC Micro, and it has the same problems. Sound coming out of a shitty speaker, shit colour palette because they were CGA only, but they can do 80 columns, which the BBC Micro could do. And BBC Micro is, apart from the funky red function keys and the actual quality of the mechanical keyboard, it's not a very nice looking machine. I don't think it's very boring. It's like an Intel Atom with different coloured function keys. Well, I'm not saying the bread bin should win any design awards, but you know, it's interesting colour, interesting shape. I don't think it's chewed up the tape. There was something funny about the one that did load the game. Something funny about the tape deck. I don't know why I'm bothering to rewind that one. There you go. Let's escape that. Alright. Coffee cup to the ready, sir. And let's do this thing there. Good. So we should hear screeching from the loading. That don't sound great. It sounds a bit slightly wobbly, like a wind-up gramophone. But yeah, I do remember there was something funny. I just can't remember if it's the one that hasn't got a lid on the tape deck, or if it's the one where the lid doesn't close. I don't like the way it makes that noise. It's like it's a physical relay cutting the power. Okay, what happened there? Right, we're going to have to clean both the tape decks, I reckon. See, I don't want to ruin a game that potentially loads. But, yeah, we have to turn it off and on. Yeah, so my biggest problem with a CPC as a computer is, as a kid, there's loads of reasons with just a tape deck. You're not going to be turning the computer off every time you turn the TV or monitor off. You will leave the computer running. But on the Amstrad, if you want the computer on, the monitor has to be on. The 12 volt business for the CPC is not a pass-through. Like I said, that's a real, you know, yeah, and the power switch is a bit iffy on this one, I reckon. So I think maybe the blue is coming back. Technically the tube that comes on this is a shit as a fucking Hinari Matsui Seisho TV for 99 quid. Really horrible tube. But because it's using a SCART RGB thing, let's try it one more time then. obviously you have to have the computer on to forward the tape deck. But yeah, that's a really dumb thing. I don't like that. But yeah, I used to leave my C64 on loads and turn the TV off. Now the rebadged Grundig TV, which was called Triumph, same as the people who used to make the cars, but not the same company or logo. It's just the same name. They were made for a specific company, either Comet or Curry's. Oh no. Oh right, okay. It's alright when it does it there. Hasn't even got as far as the last time now. Yeah, the turbo loaders are a bit of a problem. Because this one don't look like in great condition. I don't know why that happens when it stops the thing like that. Why would it do that? Well, it's not drawing the loading screen, so we're fucked. So this will never load because it can't load the screen. Yeah, nah. Now if I'd found like a whole box of Amstrad games, yeah, I'd be a bit annoyed then. But because I haven't actually got anything to play on it, I'm not sure the tape decks work, and the only way to load stuff in is physically through a cassette adapter and an MP3 player if you haven't got any actual tapes. And that still means the the tape deck needs to be in top-notch condition. Yeah, this ain't gonna work. So I'm a bit wary about this particular tape deck, so I may just simply swap out this tape deck, which is a bit knackered, take the cassette lid off it and put it on the other one that almost loads, and this one with a broken keyboard, well, I don't power on anyway, but actually we'll try that now. Because if it did power on, that would be nice. So let's try it one more time. Yeah, that don't sound great. The broken toy rattle of a computer that's not going to load power up. Ooh. Yeah, this is the one where all the things are in a different position. Yeah, the switch feels fine. This may be a simple fix, this one. Maybe there's like a fuse that's gone in it. We haven't accidentally turned the monitor off, have we? No. Yeah, that's fine. Put your hat on properly, mate. Yeah, because the red LED doesn't even come on. Let's try wiggling the power thing on the power socket. So it could be as simple as dry joints on the power socket or an internal fuse. Definitely ain't going on there. And it's a simple barrel connection. So there endeth the failure of my Amstrad collection. Close but no cigar. Now, which one of these is actually in the best physical condition? This one is actually. I think the reason I bought this one is because it is in mint condition. It's just literally missing the lid for the cassette. So I think I'm going to try cleaning the heads and we'll try again.